everyone. Welcome to the Matter Media event. If you have not had an opportunity to take a seat, there are a few wonderful seats right up front. So we welcome you to come on in and have a sit down. My name is Michelle Mandela Freeman. I am the head of marketing and member services with the Alliance, and we are just thrilled to have everybody here with us today. We have a great afternoon planned with speakers and panels and demonstrations, but first, we're going to kick off with a brand new video about Matter.
This is a smart home kiosk. This is where they sell the connected stuff in stores. It's a great place to learn about the latest tech, but it's not where I look for a new light bulb or window shades. Smart bulbs and automated blinds can bring value to every home. But to do that, connected products need to be as easy to buy as regular bulbs and blinds. They need to be easy enough to just discover in the regular aisles like every other product. Easy enough to buy without needing an expert or being one. But right now, that can be tricky. Some stuff only plays nicely with other stuff, and setting it up can be hard, making buying a smart device feel like taking a risk. But all that changes with Matter. Now, I can choose a Matter-enabled device off the shelf and know it'll just work when I bring it home with all of my other smart stuff. It'll be so easy, I can buy everything I want, not just the stuff I can convince my techie neighbor to set up. So easy, I can grab a smart bulb off the shelf with the same confidence I do a regular one. And when that happens, everyone can come home to a smart home. How many setup screens does it take to turn on a light bulb? That's because setting stuff up can be daunting, sometimes with dozens of steps to get through across different apps, Wi-Fi passwords, logins, account linking, resetting devices, and that next smart thing you buy from the store? Odds are it needs a totally different setup. No wonder so many smart home devices are returned because of setup issues. But Matter changes the game by making devices easier and more consistent to set up. Most Matter stuff can be set up in seconds, connected to the network, smart speakers, displays, TV, everything, in just a few steps with the app I feel most comfortable with. Oh, and once it's set up, Matter's multi-admin feature means I can connect devices to other apps and controllers all at the same time. Now everyone in the home can control every device however they want, using any phone, TV, smart speaker, or app they like best. Because everyone deserves to be in control of their home. It's great to have smart home devices that work well on day one, but it's just as important that they work on day 1000 and every day between. Matter is a local technology. That means devices in my home can talk directly to each other. So that smart light switch doesn't have to connect all the way out to the internet, across clouds and back just to turn on that light bulb. Smart home devices will feel as fast and reliable as your old light switch while doing so much more. And those devices now can do more because Matter makes it way easier to build them. And that's a big deal because building smart devices has been really hard. Every smart home platform like Google Home, Amazon Alexa, Samsung SmartThings, Apple HomeKit, and others has had a different protocol, a different language devices have to speak. That meant device companies had to invest so much of their time, effort, developers, and those really good snacks that make developers happy just getting devices to talk to each other. But Matter lets developers build literally once and for all. It's a single, stable, and open language that lets devices talk to each other, apps, and ecosystems. With Matter taking care of connectivity, developers can cut out a ton of work, getting to the fun parts of their roadmaps, building those killer features, and getting their product to market way faster. Oh, and when you get to market, that device, app, or connected service will be compatible right out of the gate with all things Matter, without having to convince every brand or platform to work with you. That's a dramatic lowering of barriers to innovation and growth for companies and developers of all kinds and sizes around the world. But the most unprecedented aspect of Matter isn't the technology itself, but how collaboratively it was created and how quickly it's getting to stores and homes. Matter is a global, industry-wide effort built not just by the big players, but by the nearly 300 300 companies who are all members of the Connectivity Standards Alliance, from silicon providers to device and platform companies, even retailers, including our launch event sponsors, Amazon, Schneider, Silicon Labs, Tuya, Google, Infineon, Samsung, Signify, and STMicro. All 300 got together to make Matter possible and make sure it works for every kind of developer and user, and to make sure we can all use it to start and grow our smart homes today. Usually, new technologies take years to become universal. People have to buy all new hardware, extra adapters, cables, boxes. Not this time, technology. You can start using Matter today without having to buy all new stuff or get rid of your old stuff either. Through software updates to smart speakers, displays, hubs, and devices already in millions of homes, people can use Matter on many of the devices they already have. And don't worry, your older devices won't get left behind. Matter has been designed to play nicely with them too. With hundreds of Matter devices on their way or already certified, and new tools to build the next ones from dozens of chip and software companies, there'll be plenty of new Matter devices to choose from. Matter makes the smart home a more connected, comfortable, and helpful place. For anyone who wants a smart device that just works, for anyone with the next great idea to easily launch a global product, Matter is for all of us, for all brands and platforms, all over the world. That's what matters.
Wow, look at this group. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. That was a great video. It really describes the journey of Matter and what a game changer Matter is. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the launch of Matter. Matter launched just 30 days ago. We put the spec out on the web. We updated the software development kit. Since that time, in just 30 short days, spec downloads, 4,400. These numbers are getting updated by the minute. SDK downloads, 2,500. Certifications, this is the part that matters. The products coming in there, 190. Several dozen already through the process, and many, many more coming through today. And we've already had 20 new companies diving in, putting their weight into bringing new devices, and that goes from new appliances, medical devices, to toys. So it's really incredible to see the enthusiasm, the exuberance already shown in terms of supporting what this standard brings to the industry. That's really incredible. So while this standard is a game changer, where we find ourselves in the world today really is about taking down the walls, creating better connections between people. And that really is something that we try to do in the Connectivity Standards Alliance, which is really bringing that connection to people, creating more human-centered design, bringing those connections that mean something to each other. It also means taking a look not just at a device-to-device communication, but at a system. We talk about the Internet of Things, and all these things playing nicely together. It's not just a light switch talking to a light bulb. It's about creating different experiences, different solutions, providing different services. In order to do that, we need to think broader than just one point-to-point. We need to think through, how does this all work in a system together? And is that kind of systems approach that has really led the design and the effort itself over the last 3 years as part of this incredible effort. And it also has to be done to respect emerging business models, the user experience in all this, from privacy and security to the business models and ways that companies can innovate. What is that limit to the standard where companies can then take over and find different ways to create really cool and exciting new experiences for consumers in every step and path? So Matter aims to take that head on. And so I want to take a minute to say thank you to the sponsors, especially the group here today, Amazon, Schneider Electric, Tuya, Silicon Labs, and many more that have put not just their resources and effort, but really the energy and passion there. It's been a partnership with all of these companies, many who you see here today, but just so many other companies around the world that reflect really this kind of whole value chain from silicon to storefront that bring this standard to life and bring those eventual experiences to life as well. But I also want to thank our board of directors. None of this happens without a body and an entity supporting that effort. And over 3 years ago, the board of directors and the chairs that have led there, from Bruno Volcano, from Legrand, to Ed Eckert and John Osborne from Leaderson, these are individuals who had that vision and foresight to support that and drive that forward. My thanks to you for doing that. To the founding companies and the leaders with a vision to take a chance to jump into that. To people who led the program and continue to lead the program today. It's really been a joint effort. And those companies and that investment in those resources are the reason that we're all here today and we have a standard that's going to change the world. But most of all, while we need that leadership, none of that happens without the hundreds and thousands of engineers, the hundreds of companies. You heard upwards of 300. The number is growing by the day. But also the hundreds of thousands of hours, and I kid you not, we've tracked this, of work time that people have put into this effort. It is truly one of the biggest engineering efforts in years. And what that means is collaboration, getting together, arguing over functionality, requirements, what's in the spec, what's out of the spec, how we get all that done and agreed to, how we create certification programs that will reflect that and deliver that experience to consumers. It's been really incredible. All that energy, all that intellect has just been remarkable to watch and to see this kind of collaboration between companies that normally try to eat each other on the market. They come together here and they work together on something that builds the market together. So we can then innovate on top of that. So we're going to spend just a couple of minutes talking about kind of the why, the how, and the when. Why are we doing this? Why do we need this standard? And it's really in the DNA of the Connectivity Standards Alliance. It's about creating over 20 years this focus on simplicity and interoperability and reliability, and making sure that all of that is done with a mind to security and making sure that everything is secure in that process for consumers. As you look at that, I want to also thank the Thread Group and the Wi-Fi Alliance. These are great partners. They're members as well in terms of ensuring that as we get out of the gate here with Matter, these are going to run great on Wi-Fi devices, great on Thread devices, and everything that those networking technologies bring to the table. And it's really incredible to have that kind of relationship across organizations and across the industry to do just that. And that's what Matter delivers. So a lot of times I get asked this question, how did Matter come about? What dinner was it? What barroom sketch? And I can remember back 15 years ago when my first introduction into this kind of realm of standards, although I've been using standards for a longer time than that, drafting out what it is about a language. What is it about a language of devices? Why would we have different languages, different ways to say on and off to a light switch? Turns out that's actually pretty difficult when you're talking about software and firmware and ecosystems. So back in 2016, we started having some really serious discussions. We had companies that really were living on proprietary protocols, their own protocols, who really understood and led forward with their own vision of trying to open up the market and open up that interoperability to other ecosystems, not just other products. And that's really incredible. 2017, the Alliance hosts a leadership series where we get leaders together. We have frank discussions. We talk about what's really holding back any part of the market. From those discussions, we had a lot of good outcomes. We had tiger teams, we had different work efforts to really identify what's that next step to get us together to really deliver an interoperability standard that solves real problems, not just creates more walled gardens. 2019, this started to really take shape and take form. This is a great little period. Some of you may remember this. We've done some presentations on this for our members. They saw this before this went public. I'll point to Grant Erickson in the audience here, who might have been a nice author on that. And this really helped shape and create form to what that looks like and what we're talking about when we say Matter and interoperability of a language of devices talking to each other on top of proven and reliable standards like Internet Protocol. Then in 2022, where we are today, it is really about collaboration and commitment. All throughout this, that road has not always been even and steady and easy. As we know, getting competitors, fierce competitors, to agree to work together is not an easy task. It's been a bumpy road along the way in certain places, and most importantly is making sure that we're still going to the end goal, the end destination. And fortunately, with that consistent collaboration, that's consistent investment of resources and people, and an agreement to work together and to agree on what we're going to do next together, that's what got us here. The commitment from those companies and from the individuals and the leaders and the engineers that helped create that, that's where we are today. That's how we got to this point here in Amsterdam today. So what is Matter? Matter, right from the out front, we're getting 8 device categories, multiple sensors, lighting, temperature controls, blinds, locks, even televisions, with certifications in all categories. And I'm pleased to announce that we have certification on all of these product categories today. In addition, something we've talked about before, we're pleased to announce that we're doing certification of software components. These are used for the creation of things like controllers and member application development kits. Further opens up Matter to the development community as well, as we look at different ways to really bring this to the market. It's not just about delivering a great consumer experience, it's about creating a way for companies and individuals to build products quickly that work, that consumers can count on. That means looking again, like I talked about earlier, a systems approach. How do you make sure all the pieces are working together and landing in the right way so that we can build products tomorrow that we think of today and consumers get at the same time? So looking ahead, we are really focused on ensuring that we understand that this is one huge step in a long process. It is about bringing stability into the market. We're going to have very good effort focused on delivering high quality. We have a continuous improvement process. We know that just like security, the development of standards is a never-ending process. So we're going to really focus on delivering quality in the first time. But at the same time, we also know what this means for the industry. It is about delivering something that touches more than just those 8 categories. We've got 9 new areas that engineers and companies are working on today. We know that there are several more that folks are focused on and interested in getting into. So we're really excited to see that. And that includes things like cameras, robot vacuums, environmental sensing, closure sensors like garages, ambient motion. And just with these, you can think about the use cases that start to get addressed with this. That's just in the smart home. And again, we know this is just the beginning. So we'll start with a biannual release process to provide predictability to the market so they know when new specs are coming out and when those functional updates can be counted on, as well as, of course, making sure that the process is well understood by the developer community. So really exciting in terms of what's coming next, but again, really focused on stability and making sure that we're continuing to deliver on those base core promises in the near term. And a couple more points before we move on to some of our excellent speakers. The Alliance itself is focused on Matter. We're very excited about Matter, but we also have new areas that are important to delivering a truly secure smart home. One of those I'm excited to share with you today, the Product Security Working Group. And this is really doubling down on security. Matter already raises the bar, delivers security you've never seen before in terms of standards in the smart home, and it's designed really for that. We also want to make sure that we're looking even more broadly than that. So we have a new product security working group that's going to be looking at this. And this, as you know, several countries are going through security programs looking at different ways to help consumers understand whether or not their products are secure. And so we're looking at harmonizing over 60 different regional approaches and country schemes, very respectful of how the governments are doing that. We want to make sure that we're doing this in a way that allows both consumers to get that security and that expectation and that trust, but also get products that can be delivered at a cost point that's affordable for everybody. Our team presented at the White House just recently. We're speaking with European regulators, Asia regulators. It is really a collaborative kind of approach that we're taking with this one as well, similar to how we tackled to Matter. So it's pretty impressive, and you can see how we've learned from Matter, how it's progressed, and how to help that move forward, especially in the security space. So we're very excited about that next move. So again, thank you for joining today. This is a really incredible time to be coming together and talking about all that Matter brings to the market and what it means for consumers. And I'm so grateful to our partners and our sponsors who are going to talk today as well. You're going to hear from some fantastic leaders who share that vision and have driven that within their own companies and within our community and for consumers worldwide. You're going to hear from Manish Kotari, Senior Vice President, Software Development from Silicon Labs, Satal Ma, VP Connected Homes and Distribution at Schneider Electric, Alex Yang, co-founder and COO of Tuya Smart, and Maria Koopmans, Director of Smart Home and Health from Amazon. And then we'll be joined by our good colleague, Ben Wood from CCS Insight, and I'll have a great kind of discussion at that point. So with that, I want to thank you again very much, and let's bring up our next speaker, Manish. Thanks, Manish. You bet.
Thank you, Tobin. Welcome, everyone. It's certainly very exciting to be here to celebrate the launch of Matter 1.0. It's a tremendous milestone. Matter, as Tobin described, is about connectivity, interoperability, and security. And it starts with the silicon. It's rooted in the silicon. The technology industry and several professionals are driven to innovate and push the boundaries to bring innovative products and services that impact lives, transform industries, sustain the planet, and grow economies. Those of us who have been focused on the Internet of Things for a long time share a vision of smart, connected devices as ubiquitous as electricity in our homes and beyond. The potential for IoT market opportunity is unprecedented, like anything we have seen before. There are two things we have to notice. First is the size. The number of connected devices today are massive, tens of billions, growing to hundreds of billions, and they dwarf a lot of the other transformative spaces we have today, like PCs and smartphones. The second is this impact that they will have on societies and economies. The way to think about this is the physical world we live in is made up of us, humans, and all the things around us that are in our homes, in our offices, in our lives, in our factories. What we are about to witness is a massive digitization of these things that are now going to be sensing, inferring, computing, and talking to one another and to us. And this really, to me, is a way we actually now become part of this real world. But how do we reach this potential? This is also scary when you have hundreds of devices, hundreds of billions of devices talking to each other, and you really need a language. And you need to think about three things which we care about, which is open standards like Matter, which is very important. They help everyone in the industry to adopt the same protocol, not worrying about licensing, and they're based on open source projects. Interoperability must be built into the silicon so that device manufacturers can scale and consumers can mix and match technologies across the various ecosystems, such like as Amazon or Apple and Google and Samsung, and a variety of connected and intelligent devices ranging from logs to lights and beyond. And the security is, again, hardened and built into the silicon. And this is where Matter comes in. And if you take a deeper look at Matter, it promises connectivity that just works, interoperability built by design, and security, which is hardened. And I'll talk about the stack in a minute. But I think what I want to recognize today is how the industry came together to really overcome the challenges. This is not easy, but I'm really proud that we've come there. The Connectivity Standards Alliance created that excellent forum for collaboration and discussion and decision-making. And also they drove a very important thing, which is around the Matter standard development processes and the milestones and the delivery dates. All of this is very, very important, and establishing a certification process. Without that, there's no way to certify that everybody's speaking the same language. And I'm really proud to say Silicon Labs is the leading semiconductor code provider to the Matter open source project and third largest overall. If you look at the Matter stack, it's an application layer protocol running a variety of different devices today on a variety of different IP-based wireless protocols. Today, it's based on Thread, Wi-Fi, and Ethernet, and they all run seamlessly. So interoperability is built into the silicon. The stack is running on the silicon. Security is based on three things: identity, which is certificates which are injected in the silicon. Silicon Labs, we believe we can do it in an even more secure way by injecting the certificate right in the factory, which is pretty awesome. Trust, Matter has right access control mechanisms, so you can trust as these things communicate data between each other. And confidentiality, which is around encryption and how you encrypt the data, and this is where our Silicon Labs industry-leading secure vault technology comes in. And we have a very impressive Series 2 platform of hardware, software, all the wireless technologies and security, along with our support, where we work very closely with our customers and take them through the journey of certification and testing into Matter. And I'm really pleased to announce two products from this awesome cutting-edge platform: MG24, which is a multi-protocol-based SoC with BLE, and it's really a very awesome product, because what you want to do is Matter is the beginning of a journey. This product also bridges the devices with having a Zigbee and Thread running to your Matter world, because you will have devices in your houses for a long time. And we also have our Wi-Fi product that's going to be available later this year that's very important, that runs BLE, and it has the same security features and AI and ML accelerators. And we also have our Unify SDK, again, to bridge older legacy technologies like Zigbee and Z-Wave to this world. So I think with that, what I want to end is Silicon Labs is really proud to be here. Silicon is the foundation of Matter. If you look at smartphones and how they have evolved and become essential to our lives, silicon played a very important role. Likewise, in the Internet of Things, what I'd like you to see is 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, the silicon technology will evolve, just like it has in smartphones and laptops. Process geometries will shrink, silicon will get more powerful, there's going to be more compute, there's going to be more inference, there's going to be more sensing, and this will enable use cases and experiences, I kid you not, that we haven't even imagined today. So I'm really, really excited about the future we have. So with that, I'd like to welcome now the next speaker, Sita Omar from Schneider Electric. Sita, welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome everybody here for this fantastic event. And especially thanks to CSA to put us together. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of Schneider Electric to take you to a journey of home energy management system and Matter. Schneider were committed to making the sustainable energy available to all. And also we feel responsible to have a safeguard for the future. What if I told you that we actually can take joint efforts to tackle this climate crisis in the comfort of our own homes? Homes is responsible for 20% of CO2 emission globally. So something can be done here. We can work together to reduce the CO2 emission until it's no longer part of the equation. How? By efficient and sustainable homes. This is a vision from Schneider Electric for the home of the future. A global consumer survey has been conducted by Schneider Electric in 2021 with 8,000 respondents from Europe, US, and Pacific. 86% of the respondents expecting the energy bill keep on increasing. 70% want to lead a sustainable lifestyle. And more than half of them believe that connectivity and intelligence will help to build efficiency and a sustainable life, sustainable home. So, Schneider Electric, our goal is to enable future sustainable homes with home energy management system. What we call it wiser. So the wiser managed home in a way to spend less energy, which is good for the planet. When your home consumes less electricity, and also it produces less CO2. Which is the good news is that it's also good for your energy bill. But to reach this, each home needs to work as one ecosystem. Every product needs to talk to each other and interact with each other in a good way. Then we can monitor what happened at home, and we can control it and maximize the optimization. So that's why Schneider Electric, we believe in the open protocol will be essential, will be crucial to reach this goal. And the IoT industry requires a common language, right? So we are very proud to be partnered with the local and the global companies to rethink the future of connectivity and interoperability. We believe that Matter standard will bring the IoT industry their common language. We commit to the long-term success of Matter. We are also proud of to be one of the first company who announced the Matter certified devices. So, since we support Matter as a long-run success, there is 3 major approaches I would like to share with you. Firstly, we enable a sustainable approach to Matter. So Schneider Electric introduced one of the first Matter certified bridge, the WISE Gateway. The WISE Gateway is able to bring our existing Zigbee ecosystem to join a Matter fabrics. So the idea here is to connect, not to replace. So by this approach, we make it possible for our existing more than 250 Zigbee certified devices to bridge into Matter fabrics, into the Matter ecosystem. Secondly, Schneider Electric devices will become Matter certified. So here, the Square D smart plug will be and is the first Matter certified function devices from Schneider Electric. And also, we plan to have all the new connected home devices to be Matter native or Matter upgradable. Third, Schneider Electric planned a completed sustainable home energy management system enhanced by Matter. The Wiser apps will be Matter certified, and the Wiser system will welcome the Matter devices to join together with our existing portfolio to serve these efficient and sustainable home solutions. You know, we want to lead by example. We understand that making a real difference will require a global effort. That's why we want to work with our partners worldwide together to create this efficient, sustainable future with Matter. It will benefit the homeowner as well as the planet. So I would like to thank everyone today to support Matter and also everyone who put their efforts to make Matter finally to the fruition. Your tireless efforts will be the catalyst for changes. And Schneider has a vision of efficient and sustainable future. The vision I shared as well. So I hope that we can work continuously to bring this vision to the reality. Because to save our future, we all matter. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So now, let's welcome next speaker, an old friend, Alex Young from Tuya Smart.
We got a beautiful scene here while Toby makes his opening speech. You see what? The cloud moves away, and here comes the sunshine. I'll take that as the sign of the turning point of the industry. So this afternoon meant to be some milestone, key milestone in the IoT industry. So I'll take a little bit back forward. For the first meetup with the CSN and with the Tobian, we discussed about what the future might be and why we started Tuya. So there will be one very deep rooted mind for us. So we believe that people don't care about technology, or they don't seem have the interest in to understand that. All they care is that whether I can open box, plug in, and work it. If not, I'll return it and I'll say, okay, it's not, it's terrible stuff. So, okay, besides the engineers, all right, in our office, the only engineers, they're interested about, okay, get things, complicated things done, but not the users. So to be able to achieve that part, the easy open box experience, we believe that the foundation type of technology will be interoperability. So interoperability really matters. And so we decided to be involved. That's the let's do that thing together because we have to share the same vision. The vision is to build a simple and secure era of connecting everything together in a smart way. So people don't want to learn. People don't want to read the menu. People just want to have things done. So how do we do that? So that will, takes tons of work for the engineers. We are good at make the complicated things simple, or otherwise. We can do both. And so we decided to invest in that, and I do a little bit calculations till yesterday. Ask my guy, okay, how much work you did there? And so I have around hundreds of engineers. We set up the special group since 3 years ago, and they told me they spent over 5,000 man days. Okay, a little bit more than I expected. Okay, I try to get payback. And then, especially in this year, we run over 200 tests in over 30 rounds. All those kind of testing for the certification to ensure that things worked. And we're ready to deploy the solutions on over 10 different chips. And then we go through all this kind of stuff, SV1, 2, and until now we get the Plugfest. So that will be all the work my guys done. And also, we can never do that without our partners. So we run those kind of interoperability tests with some of our core ecosystem partners, including Amazon, Google, and Apple. So we have teams working in different cities, over 10 cities, all over the world. And then those guys do Zoom meeting, fight with each other, and run the test. And we run interoperable tests of over 20 different type of third-party, like the voice-assisted speakers with Matter. And then we ensure that we're capable of over 10 different versions of the mobile system, including iOS and Android. And just to ensure that all those work can make things simple. And this is work my guys deliver. Right now, we already have 7 solutions for different type of devices ready for Matter, including 2 from Matter over Wi-Fi, 1 Matter over Bridge, and 4 Matter over Thread. So Matter over Wi-Fi, right now, I have them all ATL certified as a master version. And the Matter over Bridge, right now, we can connect all type of devices through Zigbee, through Bluetooth, through even existing Wi-Fi, integrate them into a Matter ecosystem. And we work with the Silicon apps with the MG24. Right now, we're releasing the Matter over Thread solutions. And all those solutions, I think the interesting part is that, as some of you might know, Tuya are very good at some, that existing protocol out there. So like take a Matter over Wi-Fi for example. Right now, we still providing the entire turnkey solution, including the connectivity module, firmware, cloud deployment applications, and all the existing Wi-Fi products powered by Tuya running a round of the upgrade over the firmware and over the applications. They can turn into Matter compatible. So which means that we try to bring an easy gate for the customers without redesign all the hardware stuff. We can turn their existing stuff into Matter. So we can building a bigger ecosystem. So save some cost. Still, it's a no-code or low-code experience. They don't have to care about all those kind of complicated things. And in the same time, we're ready, DCL ready. That will be the new standard new technology we're trying to integrate into the security standard of Matter. So TCL, we're ready, finish all the deployment. Right now, we're in the final step of the PAA certificate. And then while our customers are doing mass productions, they have the TCL service out there. So put them all together, it's the same Tuya, provide the end-to-end solutions, try to get easy gateway for our customers to enter this industry and make a bigger pie of this market. It's still the door-to-door service, cost-efficient, time-efficient, and easy, pick up and go. And Toby mentioned about a certificate. Okay, just yesterday, literally last night, okay. We got 3 of our master solutions, got a certificate. This is a real one. And underneath those 3 master one, we still have 1 SV2 certified, and we have 56 family products certified for Matter. I'm not sure whether within the 190. So really build a product portfolio there. And All those kind of certified solutions and devices are open for any type of Tuya customers. So we can do a very fast certificate transfer program. So once they pick up the solution, they have the certificate, it's ready to go to the market, put on shelf. And also, the app is ready. So we built a master version of the Tuya app for two scenarios. The first one is that for any type of customers, they want to have their app become the Metro Central app. So we really have that ready. So right now, the master version of the Tuya app will be open for any customers. They can connect it to any other third-party Matter products. In the same time, we also open this capability to other apps as well. So you can easily, using the QR code, what we call the procedure stuff, Metro Fabric procedure stuff, move it to any other Matter apps. And the partnership is ready too. Amazon, Google, Apple, and then with the Silicon and with the ATL, and right now we have pilot customers on the line, and many more coming in. It's not about just now. We're talking about future. So what's next? We already have the roadmap following our analysis. That's all those kind of new categories we're going to launch along with the standards. We have the solution ready. And also, we have the DCL certificate ready within this month. We have the new first framework of the applications in next spring. And then we'll finish integrations with Amazon and Google SDKs by next autumn. So I think that's what things we've been doing. Putting them together, interoperable in a simple, efficient, and affordable way, both for business partner and for the end users. So that's what we're trying to do, just get things easier. I want to thank you for your success and hope you enjoy those kind of technology we bring in. And then I'd like to introduce one of our old friends and partners, Maria Kumas from Amazon.
Thank you, Alex. Great to see the progress. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm super excited to be here, like everyone else, and talk with you today about Amazon's commitment to open standards, our Matter launch plans, and how we can work together to fuel innovation and growth in the industry. Now, my name may have given it away, my accent may have given it away. This is my home country. Even more specific, this is my hometown. I've left it 24 years ago, so it's awesome to be back here today. And while most tourists envision tulips and windmills and canals and maybe even stroopwafels when you're thinking of the Netherlands, did you know that about half an hour from here, there is one of the largest shipping ports in the world, 10th on the list there, is the Port of Rotterdam. And the Port of Rotterdam processes over 14 million shipping containers each year. And it plays a pivotal role in the movement and delivery of goods across the globe. But have you ever wondered how they do that, how they move the containers seamlessly across the different modes of transportation? The answer is standardization of the shipping containers. The container system allows numerous companies using different modes of transportation to easily work together to achieve that vital scale and growth, aided by interoperability. That's a simplified illustration of the benefits of Matter. The newest way for the technology industry to deliver the bits and bytes of information between smart home devices and services that make the experience of the ambient smart home possible. And as a founding member and key contributor to Matter, we're super excited about the launch. It's essential for developers, device makers, and service providers to adopt open standards so that we as an industry can enable more companies, whether or not it's a small startup in a garage or a large global partner, to continue innovating on behalf of our customers. we're longtime supporters of the most popular smart home connectivity standards: Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Thread, and now, of course, Matter. For developers, it means more choice of technologies and solutions when they build their smart home devices. For customers, it means more selection that they can choose from when they build their custom smart home for themselves. Today, customers can already mix and match more than 30,000 Works with Alexa devices to create a delightful smart home experience with Alexa. Customers have invested time and money to build their smart home that they've come to rely on, like I did with my home. The lights turn on when I come down in the morning, and they turn off when we as a family tuck in. My espresso machine, a really neat feature, will be warmed up by the time that I come downstairs. And I talk to my TV when I want to watch the next episode of Rings of Power. And when we leave for the day, our smart lock secures the house, the thermostat drops down, and I can keep an eye on our aging pet bunny and our rambunctious 9-month-old black lab through my cameras. It has made our busy lives so much easier, and it gives me peace of mind. With Matter, customers like you and I, we will have even more choices to customize our smart homes over time. At Amazon, we'll continue to do the hard work behind the scenes to keep our smart homes running smoothly so that customers can spend their time on the things that matter most. By creating more choice and selection, we can continue providing a foundation for the future of smart home, which we fully believe is not homogeneous. Customers will continue to have many devices from multiple brands and companies. And it's not an easy job to stitch that together, these different experiences. But we think that's best for customers, and so that's why we do the hard work. We also believe we can provide more value to customers faster if we work together across the industry versus going at it alone. Now, how does Alexa help developers to deliver increased value to customers? Simply put, we help developers build the best experiences and grow healthy businesses, regardless of the device type, connectivity standard, or business model. We help developers connect with customers at scale through marketing and joint campaigns. The Works with Alexa program provides customers with increased confidence that they're buying devices from trusted brands that will seamlessly work with Alexa. And although we've been successful many times over in helping developers drive business growth, we know we can always do more. And that's why we're making it easier for developers to use our technology and improve the customer experience with seamless setup and control of Matter devices. And for those developers looking for a managed solution to build Matter devices, we will provide the option to easily add local Matter connectivity while also including managed cloud connections through our ACK SDK for Matter. Just as we strive to make it easier for customers to set up smart home devices, we're focused on making it simpler to create new, differentiated, ambient experiences by extending a variety of Alexa features to developers through our Alexa Ambient Home Dev Kit. We've been rapidly iterating, along with our partners and our peers, to support completion of the Matter certification program, a truly unprecedented technological undertaking. And while this is a huge milestone and a great first step, ensuring that we're delivering the best experience for our customers is our top consideration before releasing Matter to customers. We need to get it right, as customers have come to rely on their smart home. This is especially important when implementing a standard over more than 100 million devices, spanning 30 Echo and Aero device models, and impacting tens of millions of customers around the globe. And as an industry, we have the responsibility to maintain the trust of all those customers. So as we work backwards from the customer, we'll focus on delivering a high-quality customer experience, starting with Matter over Wi-Fi, spanning 17 Echo devices. We'll start with plugs, switches, and bulbs with setup over Android. And this will be followed early next year with Matter over Thread, more Echo and Eero devices, additional device types with setup over iOS. This approach allows us to begin rolling out Matter support for the most common device types and the most prevalent network in customers' homes, while we continue to work through interoperability, stability, and longevity testing with our partners, ensuring customers have a high-quality experience with Alexa. And to continue our ongoing efforts to raise the bar on quality and reliability of connected devices, today we are releasing the Works with Alexa certification requirements for Matter devices. The launch of Matter is an exciting step forward in increasing interoperability of smart home. And just as the shipping industry worked together to ensure these containers at Rotterdam can be processed with almost any port and modality in the world, we need to make sure that our customers across the globe can continue to rely on smart home that makes their lives easier, more sustainable, and offers them peace of mind. Thank you, and with that, I'll invite Michelle back on stage. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Maria, and thank you all to our speakers. So another quick round of applause for everyone. You guys were wonderful. Thank you. So up next, we will be moving to a panel discussion with the speakers and Ben Wood. But first, before we go to our panel, I'm going to invite Ben, who is the Chief Analyst and Chief Marketing Officer of CCS Insight, to come up here and share some insights about the consumer marketplace and smart home. So without further ado, welcome, Ben. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Great to see you all here today. And my privilege today is to chair the panel, but I also have the opportunity to share some thoughts on the market, because I thought it would be helpful to give you some context on where the smartphone market is today. If you've not heard of CCS Insight, we're a research and advisory firm based out of London. We've got analysts there. We've got analysts on the West Coast. We have a team in Sri Lanka mining primary data, and we cover a whole host of things like connected devices, semiconductors, cloud, telecom operators, mobile infrastructure, dev trends, lots of things. But of course, today, what I want to talk to you about is the smart home opportunity. And we have a great product called the Connected Consumer Radar, where we go out to customers in key markets, key advanced markets, every couple of months and ask for their insights on connected devices. And it's pretty expansive. We cover a range of connected devices that households will own. We regularly research 19 established categories, which spans connectivity and productivity devices like mobile phones, tablets, computers, entertainment and productivity, and other devices like smart wearables, video streaming devices. But of course, smart home is where's relevant today. And we have 6 categories that you can see here. Robot vacuum cleaners, smart security, cameras, smart doorbells, smart appliances, smart thermometers, and smart lights. So where are we today right now? Well, in the markets that we are looking at, we are already seeing that 37% of households have at least one smart home device. So the momentum is strong. And to share that in terms of specific markets, you can see here that Spain is leading the European market with a phenomenal adoption of smart home devices, 46%, which is incredible. UK and Germany are catching up, 34% adoption in the UK, 30% in Germany, and you can see in the US, there's been some strong growth over the last 18 months. We've been very impressed there, and more households having a smart home device, hitting 40% there. And interestingly, a strong appetite for devices in Singapore, 43% there, and growing appetite in Australia. So a good global picture of what's happening in the world. So how does that break down with different devices in different countries? Well, in the UK, smart doorbells, smart thermostats, and smart lights are super popular, as you can see. In Germany and Spain, robot vacuum cleaners and smart lights are big. I mean, Spain is phenomenal. They love smart vacuum cleaners in Spain. I think it must have something to do with the way people are living there, more people in apartments, hard floor surfaces, single level surfaces, and I think that 1 in 3 households in Spain now have a robot vacuum cleaner. The US clearly focused on kind of home security. They like security cameras and smart doorbells there. And in Australia and Singapore, robot vacuum cleaners doing well, but I think it's particularly interesting the traction that we're seeing in smart domestic appliances in Singapore. And I wonder if that's a leading indicator for what we're going to see in other markets around the world in future. Now, what we also look at is what are the common combination of devices that households own. And of course, this is massively important when you come to think about the Matter standard, because most consumers don't have all devices from one particular manufacturer. They have a full spread of different devices. So in the UK and in the US and Australia, smart doorbells are often combined with security cameras. That's a common combination. In Germany and Spain and Australia, smart appliances are often there together with smart lights. And in Singapore, we see an interesting combination of robot vacuum cleaners and smart domestic appliances, as you probably saw coming out of that earlier slide. So that's where we are now. What's going to happen in the future? So there's a lot of information on this slide, but just to give you an idea of how it all works. Top left-hand side, the grey bar is what people own today, and then the coloured bar is what people are going to own in the future. So in the UK, 5% of people have a smart vacuum cleaner today, a robot vacuum cleaner. In the future, 24% of people want to buy one of those. This has an extended timeline. This is just at some point in the future. I will show you a near-term 12-month one in a moment. And then just to kind of zoom right in on what people want to buy, well, it seems like everybody wants a smart doorbell, apart from the Spanish who are going to buy their smart lights. But as you can see, across the piece, I think what is strong here is the fact that there is growth in all these categories. And that's very, very important for anyone in the smart home business. And of course, it's critically important and underlines the need for Matter to make these work together. So near-term opportunity over the next 12 months. This is not old data. This isn't a year-old survey. This is data from our latest wave in September. We're in field now with November. In September, even with the squeeze in the macroeconomic climate, we are already seeing, just in Europe, for example, 35% of households intend to purchase a smart home product in the next 12 months. So there continues to be very strong growth. And again, lots of data there. So a few last thoughts before we head into the panel. Firstly, I'd like to underline the fact that a lot of people think smart homes just all about gadgets and technology enthusiasts. In fact, smart homes are not just an indulgence. For many consumers, they're now starting to think of them as quite a practical purchase. Some of them can help save energy and save money. Think about smart thermostats, smart lights. They can help with that. So with energy prices going up, with the cost of living crisis, they're very, very interesting, attractive products. Sadly, in tough times, people also start thinking about their security as well. And I think the security cameras and doorbells are a strong product in that category, and we saw that in the research. And then finally, I do honestly believe that getting that work-life balance became quite a focus for a lot of people in the pandemic, and therefore some of the things like the robot vacuum cleaner or smart domestic appliances, if they can maybe just give you a little bit of time back, that's going to help people have a better balance in their lives. 3 quick takeaways. Smartness in homes, I can tell you from the research we're doing, is already happening. But there's still a long way to go, and for the companies that are in there early, I think that gives you a tremendous beachhead to establish yourselves. The short-term opportunity is going to be impacted by the macroeconomic climate, and we are seeing that more affluent households tend to be the ones that are focusing on smart home solutions more than others. But also, I absolutely believe that the next phase of growth for the smart home is going to be predicated on standards, and Matter can help with that. And I really hope that we will look back on this event in 3, 5, 10 years' time and remember that we were here, and the standard becomes as ubiquitous as something like Bluetooth, which just works for a lot of products across lots of manufacturers and is truly established. So with that, I'm going to stop here, and then we're going to take invite the guests or the panelists back up onto the stage, and we're going to work through a few questions for about 25 minutes. So please welcome, well, we're going to get the chairs on. Please stand by, and the panel will start in a minute. Thank you very much indeed. Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to the presentations. We've now got an opportunity, and I have the opportunity to ask some of the speakers a few questions. And Tobin, I'm going to start with you because, obviously, today we've talked a lot about the announcement of the standard, those first product categories that are going to be available. And we've seen some teasers from some of the panelists in terms of what we can expect. But could you talk a bit about how you expect the Matter standard to evolve over the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, so thank you very much, Ben. And I think you heard some of the focus on bringing products into market, and you heard Mario talk about kind of really making sure that they're stabilized in all of their different parts as they talk to their customers. We're focused on the same thing. Our members will be focusing on ensuring that we have a continuous improvement process to be able to find any glitches or anything like that as we first come out, and make sure that those are brought back in quickly, so we're delivering a very stable environment for the standard as well. The second part of that is, as you heard, 9 different Tiger teams already working on new products. We have a biannual release schedule. It means we'll do 2 releases a year. That's our expectation. Within those, you'll have dot releases that will bring in new functionality in different product areas, different product categories as well. So as everyone here has talked about, this is the beginning of a journey. That journey is getting more and more folks on board as well as we look at new device categories. So a lot of work continuing in new device categories.
Brilliant. So, and do you think we're going to see more members joining? Do you think this event will be a catalyst for a lot more products being certified and everything else?
I do. I think the most important part is this isn't, we're not just delivering a spec and putting it up on the web and seeing what people do. Upwards of 200 products coming out right in the first 30 days, as well as the number of, as I mentioned earlier, 20 companies have already joined again in the last 30 days. So I expect that will accelerate, and I think we'll see, potentially hundreds more companies jumping on to both build devices as well as create new device categories. And as we look at what you can do with simple devices and ambient living, we're not even looking yet at the way to make all these devices create new user experiences. We're just focused on that first part. As you do that, I think the top is really limitless.
Alex, TUI has been doing a lot of testing on Matter-compatible devices. You talked about that in your presentation.
Yeah.
So there's a huge long tail of products out there that you can't talk about, but we know they're there, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us how that's going? Because obviously there's the spec, you've got to get it delivered, you're testing it. What are your confidence levels in terms of Matter devices being certified and coming to market?
I think I'm quite confident about that. So like I mentioned, that right now we have 7 solutions as master version in the 9, and then 6 of them already in the process of certificate, 4 of them already coming out. So, and we have the certificate transfer program, right? So the way we're doing that is not stopping just like a platform provider. That's theoretically it's workable. So from Matter stuff, we're building use cases, co-work with my customers. So it's not a prototype anymore. It's a finished product. So we directly involve in the products, and then we ensure that it's really workable and can pass the certification. And then we pass that along to the customers. So that's the way we build. So we build our own use cases and make it workable and transferable to the customers. So I think that's right now we see that this path looks very good.
And if I've understood correctly from your slides, are they almost white label products as well that people can take? So
yeah.
How many products and when? Which you probably don't want to answer. Just give us an idea. Is it hundreds of products by 12 months' time? Or?
Okay, so right now we probably have around 59 to 60 products already in the 9. I believe that by end of the year, I think my estimated target will be around 150 to 200.
Wow. Okay,
There are a
that's
lot
good
of
data.
customers waiting in the line. So we can wait to help them to be able to finish product, pass the certificate procedures, and then make them ready to launch in next spring.
Great. Mario, let me come to you. Tobin talked us through the journey. I remember when Chip got announced, and I'll be totally frank, when I saw kind of Amazon and Apple and Google and Samsung all working together, I thought hell would freeze over first before us getting to a point where we'd be in an event like this and all of those companies would be unveiling their support. Can you give us any, Tobin touched on it, but can you give us any insight into how that journey worked? What's it like when a group of kind of, competitors in some cases, I know some are partners as well. What's it like when you're doing that, and maybe just this kind of 3-year journey you've been on, succinctly?
For sure. Let me first explain the effort that we're putting in. There is at least 20 hours of just meetings alone in a week that we all are participating in across marketing, technology, product. And so it's a tremendous focused effort that everybody is putting in. You used the right word, which is it's a journey. And it is a journey. And imagine aligning 300 people on a single topic, let alone bringing together 300 companies on a standard for an industry. And so that is a journey. That doesn't happen overnight. We're tremendously excited about where we are today. And one of the things that we do at Amazon is we work back from the customer in everything that we do. And so when you're trying to bring together 300 companies, you have to have a common belief that you can rationalize against. And so we were very thrilled that we have a common and shared vision across our peers and our partners about doing what's right for customers, because it's so closely aligned with how we think about our vision within Amazon. And so that common vision that we've articulated across the membership with strong guidance and leadership from Tobin here, that is why we're here today. That is why we get to announce Matter 1.0.
Were there points when you thought this is not going to happen?
And has it always been smooth, if that's your question?
Yeah, well, maybe, if you want to phrase it that way. But, I mean, were there moments when you thought, wow, this is not going to happen?
We had to have a glass of wine sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. No, but, I mean, it has. So, as I said, my expectations were pretty low at the beginning, so I think it is remarkable.
It is an absolute unprecedented, monumental step that we're taking today.
Okay.
So we should give Tobin a lot of credit for that, He's the one, when there's argument, he put everybody back to the table to say, hey guys, this is not the end of the world. Let's not stop killing each other, right? Let's try to talk.
Great, well done, Tobin. herding the cats. Manish, at Silicon Labs, you've got a huge track record here. Obviously, you talked about it in your presentation, right. Support for Zigbee, which right. was obviously a foundational step in this direction. Right. Could you... and then also during the presentations, I heard a lot about kind of multi-protocol support. So all these different protocols that kind of get subsumed into Matter and all come together. Can you talk a bit about that? Because I think people have heard that talked about in the presentations. What does it actually mean? And what are you seeing in terms of how that will support legacy products and future products?
It's a great question. So I think if you look at it, I think it's simply just two things. Matter today is is based on multi-protocols. It supports Thread and Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and BLE. Now, if you do a multi-protocol in a single chip, the first benefit is cost to our customers, power, and form factor, especially with Wi-Fi. So that's a clear win. The second most important thing is, as Tobin mentioned, Matter is the start of a journey. Zigbee devices in your home are going to live for a long time. And the transition of Matter to Matter and OpenThread needs to be smooth. So with our MG24, you've got Zigbee and Thread running on the same device with Bluetooth. So that's what multi-protocol does to enable the edge devices kind of live in this new world and transition seamlessly. We also have a Unify SDK protocol that's also a multi-protocol stuff that's running on your bridges and your controllers to again bridge Z-Wave and Zigbee through that route. So these are the two main reasons, and they're super important to ensure Matter is just not a step function. It will not be a step function, It'll transition, and that transition needs to be smooth and really a great experience for the customers.
Okay, Stan, let's come to you. You showed a slide of some research you did back in 21 about people's interest in energy and those sorts of things. Obviously, back then it wasn't quite as critical as it is now.
Yeah.
So, the energy crisis and environmental topics are really hot. It's a big, big issue. I talked about it in my presentation, and I'm sure there were some people, skeptical, saying, well, he's just saying that, there's all these acquisitions of kind of green rinsing and everything else. But I genuinely believe there are opportunities. With your kind of connected home of the future, can you tell us a bit about how Schneider's really doing this and an up-to-date version of what you're hearing from your customers? Is there a huge surge in demand for thermostats and those sorts of things?
Yes, for sure. You'll see Schneider Electric were very focused on this home energy management system. And I was talking about the two aspects, right? One is the efficiency, means so we need to help our customer to reduce the energy consumption. Saying that what happened through this year, most of the country get this tariff increasing for a certain percent, right? Even some of the country have times the increasing compared to the same time last year. So we need to work on the efficiency. And at the same time, another side, we need to work on the sustainability. Means that we need to conduct the less CO2 emission, a more greener life. Okay, so this is two areas we're going to work on. And from the survey, I was talking about 70% of the consumer say that they want to conduct a sustainable life. But the reality is less than 30% of them really have done something, right? So there is a big request, a big demand. And this year, supporting even by this energy crisis, this solid demand is over there to request us to work on it. But back to my point is to say, to work for our homes, the home is one ecosystem. You cannot imagine that you can reach the good level by operating dozens of apps for each of the vertical category of the offers. It's too complex for our consumer, right? We need to push the things working together. It is one ecosystem, talking about with one languages, and that's why we have a high expectation on Matter. What are we doing today to form this system? We need to work with different companies and to match between each of us to see that, okay, how can we bring each of them into the system? And with Matter, what we're looking for is the IP-based way, a simpler and an easier approach that we can bring them together easily. And for Schneider Electric, we just need to focus on to utilize our expertise on the energy management, the application level. How do we help our customer to optimize the efficiency and also the CO2 production? So this is what we can see the future and continuously our focus and the benefit we can leverage from Matter.
Tobin, back to you. I've been lucky enough, I was here yesterday as well, I got a chance to talk to all of you. I spoke to other people who were attending. I did get the common theme I heard that this event, much as we're all super excited, you must be ecstatic you're announcing it, setting expectations is going to be key. So you've got an audience from the media here, they're going to be sharing this with their readers. Can you talk a bit about that? Because one of my concerns is that someone might read a headline and think that all of a sudden everything's solved. All those devices in my house are all just going to work from one app with the click of a button. Yeah. What would you say to people who are reporting on this in terms of what expectations are you setting today? And when would we get to the point like your commercial you showed, where I just had this rack of products with the Alliance logo, that it literally will just be plug and play, get what you want?
Yeah, and we'll never get there unless we start here.
Okay.
And that is a really important point about that, about setting expectations that this is part of a journey. And we talked about kind of the near term of what we're focused on is ensuring stability, making sure that everything works as it does. As I mentioned before, when we bring a standard to market, it is not just a piece of paper and then folks do it. And as Alex talked about, thousands of hours of testing. Actually getting companies together in physical places in addition to the virtual world that we lived in during the pandemic. So as we look at what expectations folks should have looking at the standard today is industry's finally sorted this out. That's the biggest part. And now it's going to be up to these companies on this stage and others to decide how fast they bring those products into the market. Today I can tell you that a lot of these products will work out of the gate. There will be some that we know will have hiccups and things like that. Technology like this always does. And so then what it comes down to is how quickly can we secure that? How quickly can we ensure that that's fixed? And we have mechanisms that we've introduced into the standard, like over-the-air upgrades, standardized ways to do that, ensuring that, like with the standard itself, it evolves, security evolves. So we have a way to bring in new security regimes into the devices themselves. So it is very much about a journey, but we'll never get to that 2-year, 3-year, 5-year point. And as I describe, where will Matter be 3 years from now? It can and should be easily working. Folks, it just works. I look for a connected product. I look for the cute little logo, and then I just do what the video talked about, which is choose what I want from the device and the experience, and I'll let all the companies sort out the rest. So we have some huge strides today, and I mean, more than huge, massive strides today in what we're announcing and what this turning point is. And of course, it'll be that build out. So we are just at the beginning. You should have fair expectations for getting this going and getting this working. But at the same time, there are products in your house today that will be Matter tomorrow, just with over-the-air upgrades. We've heard from some great companies looking to do just that.
Mario, that's very relevant to you. I mean, you are today saying you're going to turn on, was it 17 devices? I think you said, and that. What will that mean to someone who owns one of those devices? Will something happen, or how will it manifest itself in the experience? Because to me, it feels like more of an investment for the future.
And we actually will, these 17 devices, those include devices that have been released years ago.
Right.
And so the backwards compatibility is absolutely critical. Today, already more than 300 million devices have been connected to Alexa. I mentioned the stat earlier of the 30,000 Works with Alexa devices available from customers to choose from. And so as customers build their custom smart home with many different brands in their home, I don't know a single person who has only one single brand across their smart home if they have multiple devices. And so it's super critical that that all works together. And so this backwards compatibility is an absolutely critical aspect because many people have, as you showed in your data, there are a lot of robotic vacuums in Spain. And so they all need to continue to work.
Manish, you were the big cheerleader for the silicon, right? And that's the foundational technology.
Yes.
So you're starting in at the base. That gets designed in, and then people build products on top of that. What are you seeing on this challenge of where we are, and how rigorous is the certification going to be, for example?
I think CS has done a phenomenal job, and I think we as silicon providers do a very rigorous testing. We enable our customers, through kind of certified libraries and so on and so forth. But I think to come back to your question, I think the way you will see Matter adoption is a hockey stick. And I think there's a lot of things that have to come together for this to work, this transition to work. And the most important thing is not to forget the smart devices you already have in your home. So you need to think about what will be your thread-bounded router. So you need to think about what device in your home will now get upgraded to Matter so these devices can bridge. Is your light bulb going to get upgraded? So we have 50 plus alpha customers working with us, thinking this through really, really carefully and planning how this thing will kind of evolve. So there's a lot of things that will happen in the home, but as you start building this critical mass of border routers or controllers in place, this thing will start to hockey stick. So yeah, we need some patience, but I think it's much closer than what we think. But it's a journey, and there's a lot of things coming, so we're pretty excited.
Alex, you talked about a concept that I've heard about and I've learned about, but maybe for some of the people in the room, they won't be familiar with it, this low-code, no-code approach to delivering. Could you just explain what that is so people know? Because, I mean, obviously, it's very important for ramping this stuff up quickly.
Yeah, correct. I would think that will be one of the secret recipe of the two, yeah. So we believe that people just don't like complicated things. And we don't like complicated relationship as well. So we just want to simplify everything. So to be able to grab and go, I think that will be some partnership that people are looking forward to. So we try to standardize and break a very unique turnkey solution in our online website toolkit. That will be our benchmark. So whatever things we build, it's that you can always get all those kind of self-serve development experience online without talking with any of my technical support guy. So all those kind of firmware applications, the infrastructures, you can always move that with the mouse, drag, delete, and then produce. So I think that will be our DNA. So no matter it's for Matter or non-Matter stuff, no matter what it is, we always push our guys to deliver in that way. I think that will be one of the expectations we set for our customers. Once you reach Tuya, everything you can get easily, and I'll handle the complication part.
Yeah, and I think if I may add, like even as a silicon vendor, we think about low code or no code. When you have a lot of our products are sold through distributors, small companies, small startups buying stuff online, and I believe with Matter, you really are at a place where this small company can get our stuff with very little code, build a product, and ship a product, because software development is expensive. Not everybody wants to do it. So I think, to me, I do believe Matter will also enable really a low-code experience over time that we are also pretty excited about and we think about it.
Yeah, and I want to add 2 points on the expectation part. So I think the first one is that we got to be very specific on the use cases.
Okay.
You know, the Matter picture is beautiful, it's massive, and we all love science fiction movies. And we like to go to Mars tomorrow, but it's not going to happen that way. So we got to be very specific to tell the end users what you can get from these devices once it's connected to Matter and how it worked. So I think that kind of details will set the right expectation for people. And the second part is that certificate. So we need to ensure that we can have everything printed the Matter logo, have the same specification, and have the same feature and experience. So once people understanding the detail of the specific use cases, they can tell that what they're going to get from these devices. So there's less frustration from that part.
Sitao, at Schneider, you've got this huge range of products. I talked about products where we see customers having multiple products. Do you see any trends of particular products that kind of go together in your portfolio, that you see customers buying one of these and one of these?
Yeah, we are serving the several different categories of the product, like a switch, dimmers, sockets, like the heating system, thermostat, like including thermostat and the panel devices. So we have a big category of the, let's say, the Zigbee certified portfolio, which we are using today for our Wiser system. So I would say that our customer just pick what is necessary for them. If we talk about home energy management system, there is some key things to manage. First, the energy awareness. So they may need the energy sensors, right. The different smart socket, which will provide the energy data. And secondly, the smart load management, like the smart EV charge management, smart heating, cooling management. And finally, that as one system, we need to provide a smart optimization. So we do have a certain part of the devices. And what we are doing, let's say, work the talking is that through this journey, in one side, we officially certify or already get the official certification of this Wiser Gateway. The gateway will help us to bring all the existing product to serve our customer according to their needs, no matter the Schneider system or any other Matter system, they will be able to benefit. In another hand, we certify the first product, the smart plug, but it's just the first one from many. So we'll keep on building what makes sense to contribute the energy management system. Finally, it's still the partnership with all the different companies who provide their expertise in different domains, and Schneider will do our job for what we are we are experienced on. Thank you.
Great. Well, unfortunately, we are pretty much out of time, so we're going to have to draw the panel to a close. So if you could join me, ladies and gentlemen, just thanking everybody for their contributions. That would be great. And what I'd like to do now is just ask maybe Tobin if you could just say a few closing words. That would be fantastic.
Thanks so much, Ben. That was a great discussion, and thank you, everybody. Thank you all for coming today. Really appreciate it. For those on the web watching live from all over the world, we really appreciate the time, middle of the night and everywhere that you are, to hear about this incredible milestone together. So, one, this doesn't happen without these companies here, these individuals. My thanks to their personal leadership and the company's leadership. It was critical. It was actually essential. There's no way we would have gotten this done without that. And we also know that this is an incredible milestone for consumers. It's an incredible milestone for the industry. We're really excited about what happens next. So I look forward to those products and services and solutions as we start to roll this out and release this awesome new animal into the wild. So thank you very much. Thank you.